What's going on, y'all? Coach Paul here, owner of Fit Results Logan Square. Maybe you've seen my videos in the past, but it's been a while since I've made any type of video. My life has just been really busy for the past several months. My wife and I just had a baby, so that's been awesome, and the gym has been really busy, and currently we're in this coronavirus quarantine thing, so I found myself with a little extra time, and maybe you're sitting in front of your computer looking at your next shoe purchase. So I just wanted to bring back another shoe review. Maybe you've seen them in the past, but I wanted to do something I'm kind of late to the game on, but I wanted to compare 3 shoes. The Nike Metcon 5s, the Reebok Nano 9s, and the Nobull low top trainers. So I circulate through these shoes all the time, and I'll show you the wear in them, and I've been wearing them for several months, so I have some good experience in them. So this isn't like a review where it's like, oh, first time experience. I've been wearing these shoes, training in them, doing all different types of workouts in them. So hopefully I can give you some information for you to make an educated, well-informed buying decision. So I'm gonna start off with the Nike Metcon 5s. I've always been a faithful Nike Metcon person since the first Nike Metcons that first came out. I always gravitate to the regular Metcon line. I've done the Flyknit Metcons, the Metcon Freeze, and different versions of the Metcons. I always gravitate to these because these are just good for the way that I like to train. Maybe you've tried these out, maybe you haven't, but compared to past Metcon 4s, compared to the Metcon 4s, these are a lot softer. These are, the foam in the sole is a lot softer, the upper is a lot softer. These have become much better for running. If you look at this, I've done a lot of training in these shoes. That's why there's a hole here at the bottom. Maybe that's a durability thing, because I've only been wearing these things since the fall, since this colorway first came out. But I also wear these shoes like all the time, like 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. at night, training in them, coaching in them, running in them, lifting in them. So these have been a good, faithful shoe to me. Now, they made the front foot very soft and responsive. So even though they're softer to run in and jump around in, it's still very responsive under heavy and explosive Olympic lifting and plyometrics. The back is still pretty stiff. They got this little platform, stiffer sole here in the back. Now, that makes it really great for squats, makes it really great for deadlifts. These came with, the little heel lift to help you have more range of motion in squatting patterns, but I have never used those regularly once. I think I tried them once, and I just put them away. I never really used them again. That stiffness in the heel shows up if you're a heavy, clunkier heel striker when you run. So you'll hear this little knock here at the bottom as you transition forward, but compared to other Metcons, these are still a better running shoe. Now, if you're an efficient forefoot runner, you'll feel how soft these are compared to past Metcons before. Last thing about these shoes is that they're still wider than the original, any Metcon in the past. So they made it softer, they made it a little wider, and I think that's a lot of feedback that they've got in the past line. Then we're gonna go over to the other side. I'm gonna be honest with you, these are the first Reebok Nanos I've ever owned, and I think I gravitated towards these because I really like that call to the old Reebok classic shoe look. And when I put these on, I was skeptic at first, being an all Metcon kind of guy, but I gotta tell you, as an all-around training shoe, this is a great shoe to wear, especially if you have a wider toe box. So these are gonna be wider than the Metcons throughout the foot. And even though if you would put one Metcon on one foot and a Nano on the other, you'll feel a distinct difference. The Metcons are overall a lot softer in the foot, but even though these are not as soft, they're still very, very comfortable. I still wear these to train. It's an all-around training shoe. I wear these to coach in. I actually find myself wearing this on a daily, regular, running around town errands basis, just because I like the aesthetic of the shoe, to tell you the truth. But the way that the shoe is built, with this kind of dual layer upper and the lacing, it is very, very secure and stable. If I were to pick a shoe, I would do a lot of like plyometrics in, like a lot of dynamic movement. I actually think that this shoe is a lot more locked in than the Metcon, and the upper I think is a little bit thinner, so it cups your foot a little bit tighter compared to the Metcon, where it's softer, and I feel like there's a little bit more give to it. But when you do tighten it up, as other people might say, there's some bunching up here in the forefoot. But great lifting shoe all around, very strong, stable, and responsive. Now, the Nobull trainers have become one of my favorite shoes in this line, and I find myself wearing these a lot. I actually did a review on the high top trainers in the past because I had those before I had the low top trainers, but once I got the low top trainers, I find myself wearing these a million times more than the high tops. And I'll do another video on that in the future, why that is. But these shoes are a very simple, very minimal, very well-performing shoe because it is so minimal. I like minimal training shoes, and there isn't a lot of tech in this shoe, but it's well constructed to the point, the materials and the way that it's constructed, that it becomes a shoe that you don't really have to worry about. It isn't the best running shoe. It's definitely not the softest. It reminds me of like a Metcon 4, so it is a little bit stiffer than these other shoes in the outsole, but the upper is very flexible and it's really durable up here, and I think it's probably the most durable upper out of all of these in these three shoes. If there's a workout with heavy deadlifts in it, I'm turning to these shoes for sure. So if I were to put these on a spectrum, if there's a lot of running, I'd probably put the Metcons on. Good performing shoe, good for lifting, probably the softest out of all of these. If there was heavy lifting in it, even though I've done heavy lifting in all of these shoes, if there's just heavy deadlifts, heavy squats, and I'm going for just a solid low rep strong max, I'd probably put these shoes on because they're so minimal and responsive. These or probably the Reebok Nanos. If you're looking for an all-around training shoe to lift, run, jump around in, and do some heavy lifting, probably these might be the best pick. And I've been a big Nike Metcon guy in the past. But I will say this, I did just do a competition, and in the past, every competition in the past, I've always worn Metcons. I did a team competition, and these were the shoes that I went to, and they performed very, very well. I think out of all these shoes, training, life, all around, feel, aesthetics, I'm gonna have to say that I really like these Nobulls. I really do. So out of all of these, I think these are my favorite shoe because of the aesthetics, the minimalistic design of the shoe. I will say that I've probably got more compliments on this shoe more than these shoes. I've never had anyone say, hey, those are nice Metcons, or hey, those are nice Reeboks, but I have had people say like, hey, what are those shoes? Because they do look more different than any other training shoe. Good casual shoe. They have some cool colorways, but the way that this shoe is built might not be for everybody if you're looking for something a little bit softer and have more tech in it. In terms of sizing, these are all a 12. I wear a 12 in the Metcons, I wear a 12 in the Reeboks, I wear a 12 in the Nobulls, and they all fit me pretty comfortable, but I'm not saying that might be the same deal with your feet. So I hope this really helps you guys out. Maybe it doesn't at all, but that's my experience of all these shoes, and I hope you guys have some good training in whatever shoe that you get. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and I'll talk to y'all later. See ya.